In our projection model, there are going to be multiple times where we need to loop over the rows in our data frames. When looping over data frames, there are two primary ways to go about it. Let's import our modules, then create a Laker DF data frame that is made up of Lakers players' first name, last name, points per game, assists per game, and rebounds per game. The first option we're going to look at is using the iterrows function. Pandas iterrows returns an iterator containing the index of each row and the data in each row as a series. So if we ran for row in Laker df iterrows and we just printed the row, we would get the following: the index and then everything as a series. Since the row of data is returned as a series, we use the column names to access each column's value in the row. So here we could add for index row in Laker df iterrows. Now we could print the column names, so first name, last name, and let's get the points per game. Now if we run this, you'll see we get the first name, last name, and points per game. The other way to loop over the rows is with the Itertuples function. This is the preferred method to do it and how we will use it in our projection model. The Itertuples function loops through rows of a data frame and returns a named tuple. The first element of the tuple is the row's index, and the remaining values of the tuples are the other column data in the row. This is preferred to the iterrows function because the row data is not stored in a series, which can make things tricky. An example would look like this. So for row in that same Laker df, only this time we're calling the itertuples, and here we are going to print the row. We can access it directly. First name, row, last name, and row points per game. Now, let's say we want to iterate over data frame rows and take a value and add it to an empty list. We could do the following. If we had our points per game data in an empty list, and then we said for row in Laker df itertuples, let's append the row point per game in that list. And then if we looked at the points per game data, great, now we have everyone's points per game. In the next section, we're going to learn applying functions to a data frame, which we can pair with these iterations and for loops.